Hi everyone, it's Professor Fisher again. I wanted to give you maybe a little sample of an approach to this problem for Lab 3. So in Lab 3, you're supposed to create a group that has 4 students, and then assign each one a GPA using a random number generator, find the average, etc. So what I have here, what I thought I'd walk through is it's a different program. It's dealing with cars instead of students, but I think it might give you enough, I hope, to get started. So, all right, so I have app.java, which is going to be where my main is, and in the main is where I'm creating, in my case, a car object. Now, I'm not randomly generating the miles per gallon, but that would be a good idea, because you're going to randomly generate the student GPA. But here, I create a new car object, C1, on line 8, and I give it the make, which is a Chevy, the year, the miles per gallon, and the color. All right, then on line 9, I'm creating a inventory object called dealership1. That's kind of like your group. And I say that's equal to a new inventory, and then I give the inventory object a name, in my case, Fisher's Autos. The next line, line 10, says, okay, take your group, dealership1, and add the cars to that group. Now, I didn't want to give everything away, so the only thing I'm adding is 1 car. But you could easily change this to add 4 cars or 4 students. So I have dealership1.addCars, and I'm giving it the object reference C1 from line 8. So that is going to add the Chevy, the blue Chevy, to my group called dealership1. And then I print out dealership 1, and I print out the information about the dealership, which will get the name, and then it'll print out the get info actually prints out all the cars that are in the dealership 1. And then it says it's printing out the average, but since I only have 1 car, the average is going to match whatever the MPG is for that car. And finally, when I print out a specific MPG for a specific car, which, something that you're going to need to do, I have the message there. Now, what I'm doing is I'm using the group, the dealership1 dot car1. So I'm actually using the group, and then I'm saying give me the particular car in the group, and then give me the MPG for that car. Okay, so if I run it, we can see this is what it looks like so far. So dealership is Fisher's Auto, and it prints out all the cars. There's only 1, the average, and then the MPG of the first car. All right, so here's the app.java. Now let's take a look at my group, which is called inventory. So in the inventory, this is where I have a string for the name of the dealership. I have a constructor that takes in the name and assigns the name to my variable. And then right now I have 1 car. Now if I wanted to, I could increase this. I could say, okay, let's add a 2nd car to the group. And I am doing this using variables rather than an array or an array list, but definitely if you feel comfortable with arrays and array lists, definitely try and add that skill into here. And then I added a method called addCars, and this is where I'll pass to my group called my inventory, I'll pass it car1 and car2 this time. And now I will set car2 equal to the value that came in from the calling program, the value of the 2nd car that came in from the app.java. All right, and then down here, what I would do for getInfo, because getInfo is supposed to actually return all the information about all the cars, I'll just go ahead and add a blank line using \n, the escape sequence, and then I'll say car2.getInfo as well. And finally, the average GPA, now since I have 2 cars, I'll need to add car2.getMPG, and then I'm going to need to put an extra set of parentheses, so I add them first, and then I can divide them by 2. And then that way, let's see, car1, yeah, actually, there we go. Let me get rid of this one. There we go. So now I'm adding the 2 MPGs, and I'm dividing them by 2 to get the average. All right, let's go back over to our app.java. So now that I have that, I need to send it 2 different car objects. So I'm just going to copy this line here, and I'm going to paste it below. And let's make the second one a Ford, and we'll call it C2. And let's make the miles per gallon something low so we get a different average, and we'll make the color red. All right, and now when I add these cars to the dealership, I'm going to say C1, comma, C2. When I do get info, it's automatically going to get the information about both cars. When I print out the average GPA, it's going to give me the average GPA for both cars. And let's just change this to be, okay, give me the GPA for car 2 instead of car 1. All right, let me run this. And we can see now that we have two cars, the Chevy and the Ford, and it looks like the average would be around 19.5, so that looks right. And this time I changed which car I'm printing out, but I forgot to change the wording. So right now it says MPG of the first car, but really, if you look at app.java, on line 16, I'm actually printing out the second car. So I could just change this word here to say the second car, and click Run, and there we go. All right, I hope this helps with your project to create a group of students. So the inventory in my case was similar to what your group is going to look like. And the app.java is showing you what the app will look like. And then the car is similar to what your student class is going to look like. All right, well, I hope this helps you to get started, and I look forward to seeing your projects.